How's it going, guys? Welcome back. Hope you guys are excited for this one because I have a bit of a special video for you guys today. Now, this is a game I played last night. This is another post-game review because unfortunately I didn't record me playing this video live commentary. It was very late at night and I just wanted to get a game down because I'm so close to 200 LP. I'm actually 5 LP away at the moment. Now, this game here is probably the best game of Jungle Yorick I've played in so long. This is, if I ever had a poster child for the benefits of playing Maiden Split, this is literally the poster child game. Now, it's a 40-minute game, okay? So I'm going to pre-warn you, it is a long game, but I hope you stick around because I promise you, you will learn so much from this game alone that it is absolutely crazy. Now, before I get started, please do like the video. I'm doing my best to put out as much content as I can, so a like and sub does help. But what we'll do is we'll get straight into content, right? So we're versing a Zac. Now, whenever you verse Zac as Yorick jungle, this is one of the hardest matchups in the game, okay? Zac counters Yorick jungle so much, and the entire reason is just, he just does too much damage. For a tank, he does too much damage. Whenever you got someone that can disrupt you a lot, like do a rap ton of disruption, and by disruption I mean CC you, that will always counter you as a jungler, and especially as Yorick, right? So this game here I started Raptors because I wanted to go Raptors, Krugs, Red, and then path to my bot side. I've been experimenting a lot with jungle clears, and I wanted to see if this was actually faster than starting Red. I've done my tests on it in the past, but only recently I've realized you can raise 3 ghouls when the Raptors. So I thought, you never know, we'll give it a shot. It's not faster as a as a quick answer for you. It's definitely not faster. So keep that in mind. There might be a small little way around it because you could potentially just go for the... I've actually just had another idea watching this bloody video, which might actually be the way of doing it. So, you know what? In the next video, you'll have my answer to it. But either way, we're going to path bot. Now, the way I want you to play Jungle Yorick is I want you to path to your bot side and I want you to play bot heavy. Always play bot heavy. You'll regret every game you gank top, I promise you. Mid lane is okay. Mid lane is fine to gank because you can transition quite easily from mid lane to a nearby enemy jungle camp. So for example, if I gank the mid Malphite, I can then go check his Raptors. That's very good. Top lane doesn't really have that because by the time you go from top lane to the enemy blue, which is a main camp, it's a buff, so it might not even be there, you don't really have that ability to punish. Whereas bot lane, you get the bot, you get 2 kills, you can get Scuttle, you can get the Dragon if everyone survives. Like, there's just a lot more reward. So we're going to go for a full 6 camp clear here because if you look at bot, there's not really much to do there. I'm going to E this and I'm going to run bot and I'm just going to get myself in position to do something. And I want you to do this in your games. This is what I want you to do. You notice I'm not forcing, but what I'm doing is I'm putting myself in a position where if something happens, I can go in. That will be the difference between you getting ganks off and you not getting ganks off. Or you perma-farming versus you having 15 kill participation by 30 minutes. You just got to be ready, got to be in position to do something. Now, very blank early game, this game. You can see extremely blank early game. All we did is full clear, and that's fine. By going bot, we pretty much predicted 2 things here. Number 1 is Zac is top. Now we know Zac is top side because we were bot and Zac wasn't there. So really, my top lane should have listened to me here when I pinged him back, okay? You can always put your own logic into things, right? Think if you were their jungler. That's, as a general rule, that's what you should be doing. You should be putting yourself in the enemy jungler's shoes. If I was their Zac, what would I be doing? Like, for example, if I asked you right now, if you were Zac, where would you be going? The answer is their Raptors. You know the answer is going to be their Raptors because you started your Raptors. Now, if Zac showed top at 4 minutes 15, then he's done the opposite path to you. You've gone this way, he's gone this way. So you know he's back at his starting point because you're back at your starting point. Unfortunately, we couldn't finish off that jungle camp, that game. But you can see I go for the invade, right? Now that's gone, so I'm assuming he's taken this camp. So that's why I go to his Krugs, and then I see the Raptors respawn. So I was right, I just had my timing off. So what must have happened is he must have started red, or started Krug. No, he can't start Krug, what am I talking about? He must have started red and then got Raptors afterwards, and that's why it was a delayed respawn. So I'm just going to take this camp as much as I can. You can see Zach shows himself mid. Now, when Zach shows mid, that means that I can either go for his Krugs or I can go for my own jungle, which is safety. Now, I want you to pay attention to my pathing here. Now, we just saw Zach in the top bush, just over here. Notice I'm not committing myself to the walls. Notice I'm standing nearby, because my prediction here is that Zach is going to stay around and try to gank my mid. Their mid's level 6, so I have an inkling that their jungle's going to gank mid. And as you can see, my prediction was right. So that kind of gank is something you should be able to predict. You should be able to see something like that coming. The other reason that was so easily predictable is because my Raptors weren't there. He can't take them, okay? Now, obviously, I want the scuttle. I want the grubs. But when your top lane dies, you cannot go grubs. In this scenario, do not go grubs. Do yourself a favor, in a lot of these scenarios, just autopilot to not taking grubs if there's a risk. You'll see this game goes off. This game, we get screwed over early. The other thing is, don't leave minions to die for nothing. See this? This is a wave you should take. It doesn't matter I've got my Krugs up. You should be taking this type of minion wave if your top laner can't get it. Now, in a lot of scenarios, your top laner is actually going to ping you and be like, why are you taking my wave? And in that scenario, just ignore him, because no one was going to get that wave. That was so much golden experience going to waste if no one took it, okay? Now, I need a recall soon. I know that I can't go for the grubs, sorry. But there's actually a quite close camp there with the Raptors. Now, the reason I'm not recalling here is because if I recall and Zach finishes the grubs very soon, he's just going to go check my Raptors. I need to guarantee this camp. Okay? I can't give him this camp because he's about to get a truckload of free experience from the grubs anyway. So I'm just going to take this, and I'm assuming I recall on the spot. I think I'll recall on the spot. Yeah, I thought so. Now, when you play Jungle Yorick, you're playing my way, you like components, okay? I want to get components as much as possible. Whenever you're with, if you can ever afford a phage, generally speaking, if you have 1100 gold, I want you to buy boots and 2 ruby crystals. I don't want you finishing phage on its own. I would rather you get 25 free MS from the boots and 300 health, then you have 25 MS on attack and 200 health. It's just my personal preference. In this scenario as well, you can see their jungle's just ganked mid because my mid's not playing safe at all. But whenever you have your Maiden up, you can always rush the dragon. It doesn't matter if you don't have ghouls. Do not put needing ghouls as a mandatory requirement for taking dragon. You don't need it. Your Maiden alone will do more than enough damage, okay? Now, you can see here, their Zach is at my jungle now. So I'm just going to run to their jungle. You got to look for opportunities to take their jungle here. You can't just risk it and go, I'm going to hope that when I get to my jungle, it's still there. You need to find time to take their jungle instead. Now, I know their red's up as well. Now, we know their red's up because it's popped on the map. Last time Zach was on the map, he was mid lane and then he pathed up. So I'm assuming their Zach took my red and is recalling. And in this scenario, you can see Zach shows himself. We get a nice smite and we run. Obviously, you don't fight this. There's no reason to fight this. We're not going to get anything out of it if Zach tries to tank us. To be honest, Zach will probably kill me right now. So there is no reason to fight it. We're going to play safe. And the biggest thing I can advocate for Jungle Yorick players, if you're new, if you're experienced, the importance of playing safe. If you just don't die, you will have so much more chance of winning than if you risk things and die. The difference is just nuts. It's insane. But always look to find your recalls. I'm terrible at it. But generally, as a rule of thumb, if you have to cross map, you should always recall. Now, if I were to go topside here and go from where I am all the way to Krugs, that would be called cross mapping. You should have recalled instead. In this scenario, I elected not to cross map. Instead, I went bot side. Let's see if we can get a gank off. Luckily, my blitz hits the pool. Nice shot. And we get a good gank off. So, you can always find ways to get ganks off. Jungle Yorick is easy to gank with. And if your laners can blow flash, it's even easier to blow the enemies, to kill the enemy if they don't have flash up. Now, obviously, my top side jungle is all up right now. My bot side jungle is gone. Obviously, we cover mid. Now, I'm assuming their jungle is top side. Now, if I quickly pause the video, why would you assume their jungle is in my top side jungle? If you ask yourself this question right now, if I just ganked bot, right? If their Zac was bot, he would have come to the gank. He would have counter ganked it. He would have tried to help his AD carry, even after the support died. That's why you assume if you make a play on the bot side and their jungle doesn't come bot, you have to assume he's on the other side of the map. You should always assume it. So I'm expecting my Raptor camp to be gone. Now, I actually made a misplay here. You see my path? This is a terrible path. I should have gone this way, not this way. Because that Zac could have easily been here, that Malphite could have been there, and he could have ulted me straight away. Luckily, it didn't happen. All my camps are gone. It's fine, we knew that was probably going to be happening. And we could just back out. We recall to base. So looking at our gold right now, we have 1200 gold. I'm a big advocate. If you ever recall and you have 300 gold, if you're waiting for 100 gold extra, let's say you're trying to complete your cleaver and you have 300 gold and not 400, buy a cloth armor, buy a dagger, just buy something. Don't sit on 300 gold. That extra gold will be the difference. You will make a play. I guarantee you will farm 400 gold worth of camps by the time you recall next. Unless you're planning on doing a short, cheap recall, just get a cloth armor, sit on it for a bit, and that's fine. You will get back in time to make a play for your next one, for your next buy. Now, bot lane's winning. Why is bot lane winning? Because we ganked bot. Okay? Now, obviously, mid's miss, top is losing, jungle is missing. Obviously, they're going for the grubs. Okay? You can predict that. It's obvious. So, we make a play bot. It's just AD carry, it's a nice dive, and look, his grubs have just respawned as well. So, this is the kind of play you're going to look to make. Beautiful, well done. Now we kill that. We saw the Krugs are up. Let's go get the Krugs. We don't care about their support, and hey, we don't care about their mid lane either. Let's just get the Krugs. Now the TP comes in at bot lane. So I want ghouls. I need ghouls. So we make sure we get the ghouls first, and then I run in, and we get fucked. We get fucked. Now I should have run left. I don't know why I ran right, because I ran right into the poppy wall and I got wrecked. Their poppy is fed as hell. 4-0, their mouth is 2-1. We are in a really bad spot. Now that I'm dead, let's take a bit of time here and let's talk about runes. Okay, so you can see I'm running Conqueror. I'm in a Conqueror testing phase at the moment because there's a change coming through in the patch that's in 2 days time where the Maiden of the Mist will now proc Conqueror. It is a bug that's been in the game for probably 6 years now, and it's finally being changed. Initially, I thought it would be pretty uneventful, but I went to practice tool yesterday and I had a look at it. If you actually think about it, the way that Yorick's ghouls work with Conqueror is right now you can only get a max of 10 stacks with a single Yorick E because you chuck your E plus 4 ghouls. If the Maiden procs Conqueror, that's actually 12 stacks, which means we can proc Conqueror the fastest out of any champion in the game now with a single E, as long as our Maiden can reach the target. So what I was doing here is I was testing to see how quickly I could get the Yorick to stack the Conqueror on the current patch and see if anything would change for next patch. I have a suspicion that Conqueror will be probably S, if not S plus Keystone next patch. I think it will probably be better than Halo Blades. If it works the way I think it's going to work, which it should. Just being able to insta-stack Conqueror with a single E is just nuts. Like, it's so bonkers, you have no clue. It's going to be amazing. You'll definitely have to learn how to abuse the Conqueror bug, though. If you don't know the Conqueror bug, it's a little confusing to explain, but I'll do my best to explain it for you. Basically, the way it works is right now, if a ghoul gets summoned through Yorick Q or Yorick E, it has the same cooldown as any other ghoul summoned at the same time. So if you have 4 graves on the floor and I press Q, every single one of those ghouls is treated as the same spell. They're all the same. So if they all attack at the same time, you just get one Conqueror stack. But if you raise ghouls at different times, they are each treated as different Conqueror spells. So 4 ghouls raised at 4 separate times are treated as 4 separate spells, so a single E will actually get 4 separate stacks plus the E stack. So you can pretty much get 10 stacks straight away if you can raise ghouls at 4 different times. Unfortunately, the only way to do it is using the Maiden. So having the Maiden missed out right now, and then last hitting 4 separate minions with Yorick will have 4 separate cooldowns. Now bear in mind, this only works if Yorick last hits it. If the Maiden last hits it, or a ghoul last hits it, or a random minion last hits the unit that raises the ghoul, they will all count as the same stack. So you got to actually be, it's something intuitive, you actually have to think about it to do it. So Conqueror is not as autopilot as people think it is. As you can see, we're just running around the map here trying to be useful. Right, sorry, I got sidetracked there trying to explain Conqueror. It's a funny one because it's so important, but at the same time, most of this game, the event starts happening after we start getting some items. So, as you can see, it's 11 to 10. We're doing quite well, but we've lost the top tower. We've got the bot tower not so long ago. Jace is getting the bot tower as well right now. And I'm looking at top right now, and I'm thinking that's a really nice Maiden split if I can get it. This Poppy, dude, I don't know what Poppy does, but this champion is so tanky for having AD items. I have no idea what is going on. She only has AD. She has no armor. Why do I not do any damage to her? It's crazy. That is bonkers how much damage she reduces. It's crazy. So I went second item Shojin here. I'm not going to go Titanic Hydra against that team. It just doesn't seem worth it to me. I want the CDR. I knew this was going to come down to a Maiden drop game. And in a game where you want to drop Maiden, Liandry's and Shojin are both 2 of the most peak items in the game. They are so good. They are so good together that it is just bonkers. Now bear in mind, Shojin will get bug fixed next patch. Doesn't change a thing. It will still be one of the best keystone. It's one of the best items to pick up in the game. Now I'm looking at bot. I would have dropped Maiden there if my Jace wasn't bot half. But there's nothing I can really do about that. Like I said, the game is somewhat of a slow start. And what I might actually have a timestamp or so that will show you when the game starts to kick off a bit. Because for the time being, it's a somewhat even game. It looks even, I can promise you it's not. We are so far behind this entire game. Even to the very last second of this game, we were behind in goal. And spoiler, we do win this game. So you can see I'm hanging around because I see the blitzers walking around. Now with this build, you will one-shot people, like, it's so easy. And I just want to point out, Conqueror completed on that. So actually what we can do is, let's just go back. I want you to pay attention to my Conqueror stack. So you're going to see them down here somewhere. So notice I land my E, it's 2 stacks. I auto, that's 1 stack. I Q, that's another stack. The ghouls attack, there's another 4 stacks. So I had 2 separate ghouls on 2 separate Conqueror cooldowns there. And you can see once you have Conqueror stacked, the 54 healing is significant later. It's not now, not that good now. But later on, if you could actually get this max stacks reliably, this is so good. It is such a good keystone. In the past, Yorick's just been terrible at stacking Conqueror. That's why we've never run it. Only Yorick top players have really liked to run it. And even then, I question it a little bit. Now, the only problem that I have for you boys is if you're running Conqueror, watch your item buys. Because if you run Conqueror, yeah, they got it. If you run Conqueror and you build the Andrews, you need to have at least 90 AD, otherwise it's going to all turn into magic damage and AP. So you got to be careful. Now, in this scenario, my team's caught. Now, what can I do here? I want you to ask yourself, what can you do? Because obviously I can't defend mid. There's no point defending mid. They're just going to go kill me, right? So I'm thinking of setting up a side play here. We'll go for the crux. The top lane is actually bouncing back to me now. Oh, maybe a Maiden drop? Maybe? Yeah, it's a Maiden drop. Now, obviously, Zac is really strong. Kind of scary. I want to kill the Zac. Miss my E. Typical me fashion. I always miss my E. I'm terrible with it. Look at the damage, dude. Ah. And look at top lane. So we've set up the first Maiden split, and that was at 18 minutes. Usually 18 minutes is pretty much the earliest I will split Maiden. It's very rare I split Maiden any time before that. But I want to point out now, look what the Maiden split did. Look who went to top. The Zac went top. Now he's actually dying to Maiden right now, by the way. But their jungle's top. That's a free dragon. We get that for free now. And if my team was smart, we would have just ran at it straight away. Unfortunately, my team is a bit loopy, and they just don't come. I don't know why they didn't come to it. They should have just come straight away. And we could have just hugged this side of it and just gone for the dragon. I'm literally pinging this galore and no one's coming. Just hit the dragon, Mordekaiser. Somebody hit the dragon, for God's sakes. Okay, so we get this. Good. Now, what do you do? I'm gonna throw some questions out as we go, and we'll use it as a teaching experience. I'm looking at the map. There's a Baron up in a second, right? I don't have Maiden. I'm looking at bot lane right now, and I'm thinking there's a potential bull drop if I can get it off. And Baron's up. Can we even fight the Baron? I'm not going to be able to fight Baron. All we can do, really, is try to play disrupting of the fight. That's a great wall to block out the Poppy. I'm going to pop Ghost as soon as I can. See, dude, we're just in the thick of thins at the moment. I really want to drop Duel's bot. My goal right now would be to drop Duel's bot. I'll take a little bit of emergency exit. And look at Jesus, Zac is so OP, dude. Oh my God. Cool. So, nice play. We kill all of them. Now, ideally, you would drop Duel's bot. Why? So you can get the next wave as well. The thing about bot lane is once the tier 2 tower goes, that becomes an S+ lane to drop Maiden in. Maiden and Ghouls. Look how many minion waves they get by the time they hit their base. So good. Alright, so we've got Shojin, we have Cleaver. I'm starting on Leandries. Notice I didn't buy Lucidity Boots there. Notice I haven't bought them already. My goal usually is to buy Lucidity Boots first item as soon as you finish a Cleaver. There's an exception to that rule. The exception is if you're going Sork Boots. If you're buying Sork Boots, you need to wait till your Leandries is finished. So, that's the goal. And I don't know if you caught it there, we've dropped Maiden bot. Now, why drop Maiden bot here? Well, Baron's up. You see Baron's up and there's a Malphite bot. Now, in this scenario, this Maiden drop's actually a bad call. Now, ask yourself, why is it a bad call? The reason it's a bad call, it's not the play itself, it's the timing. The timing of the drop was wrong. The reason it's wrong is because there's no minions in the bot wave yet. There's a champion before the minions. Whenever there's a champion before the minions, you should not drop the Maiden bot. Because then the champion encounters her first, and he's got no reason to not aim her. In this scenario, Malphite can just kill her on his own. Because he's going to see her first. What I should have done is sat near the wolf camp and waited. Waited for it to come up and then drop the Maiden. That would have been the best scenario. We ideally would have had it more towards the base. Because now the Malphite can just go, you know what, I'm just going to go see her and go kill her. And I'm pretty sure he does. I thought he does. But, that being said, if he does go bot, that's fine. We're okay with losing Maiden. Because the goal is to have the Maiden take someone's time, occupy someone. That's the goal. So you can see Malphite goes bot right now. Now is when he goes bot. I thought he did. Now, as soon as you see someone go bot to deal with the Maiden, you're looking to force. This is where you look to pressure. Now is where I'm going. This is when I want to fight. I want to do something. So my team's fighting now. Look, Malphite can't join the fight. We are on a timer though, because we're waiting for the Malphite to recall, and then he's going to presumably teleport in. Remember, we don't die. As soon as the TP comes in, we wall it off. You say, screw you, Malphite. You can kill my wall, and we're going to play the outside of the fight. Notice I'm not going into melee range. I've waited to the very end of the fight to go into melee range here. And look at the reward. Look how good of a fight that was. Now that was all because of the Maiden split. That was all the Maiden split. That was a 4v5 because the Malphite had to recall. Now, I'm actually looking to Baron here, but I just can't see a way to get it off. It's just, their top's alive still. We don't have any damage. I'm just going to recall instead. But then we see the teleport. And here I'm thinking, we can kill the Poppy. If I land one move, we kill the Poppy. But I'm pretty sure in typical Ninetales fashion, I missed the W. And then I think I missed the next W as well. It's just absolutely terrible. Here I used the wall to block it, which is smart. I saw the Zap come in through the thing. So what we do is we summon the ult over the wall for vision. That was a really good wall by him. Unfortunately, I went straight to the Zap. But notice the healing. Conqueror's paying off. Now in this scenario, I drop Maiden. This is a do or die scenario for me. I need to drop Maiden here. So we get some items. Straight to mid lane. Let's go farm that wave. Now Maiden's going to push those minions. I'm okay with losing Maiden here. You have to be okay with losing the Maiden. There's no issues. You're going to have so much time to get her back afterwards. And those ghouls are just going to keep pushing anyway. If they encounter a wave, they're going to get free CS for us. Remember, this is Dragon Soul now. I think it's lightning, whatever the lightning one is, not cloud. I can't remember the word for it. Alright, so scuttles up. We've got 2 ghouls. We have no Maiden, but because we've got so much CDR, it's only 40 seconds. It's nothing. Now, do we just rush the dragon or not? My team wants to rush the dragon. Half of my team wants to engage. Now, I still don't have Maiden. And this is the problem you're going to face a lot. If you don't have the Maiden, it's kind of a bit scuffy. I was 20 seconds off having it. Oh, dude, I was 20 seconds off having Maiden here. Look at their comp. Oh my god, their comp is just absolute answer. There's just so much CC and disruption. Luckily, Jace gets the kill on the Baron, on the Soul. So, we got Dragon Soul off that. Jace played that really well. And then when I try to talk to my Korean teammates, it never works. Because they don't speak English. And for some reason, I think they speak English half the time. I think a lot of them do understand English a lot more than it seems like they do. Alright, cool. So, we got the Soul. We have Leandries in, like, 20 gold, okay? Now is when the game kicks off. And I'll probably have a timestamp now for when this is where the full macro starts, okay? So I'm looking at this game now and I'm thinking, how do we end this game? Okay, we have Leandries, we have Shojin, we have Cleaver. We have the trifecta. What do we do? So look at the map right now. We have Maiden ready. Where do we drop Maiden? Now they have Baron, bear in mind. So if they've got Baron, that means we're not going to push as easy. Doesn't mean you can't drop Maiden, it just means you're not going to push as easy. Now look at the bot wave. Look at the size of that bot wave. I want that bot wave right now. I saw him there. Unfortunately, it's warded everywhere here. Absolutely everywhere. There's wards galore. But that bot wave is still pretty darn good to drop Maiden into. Look at the position of the wave. Usually, if you can imagine here, look at where the wave is. These are like tiers of when to drop Maiden, basically. If you ever get a wave here, it's like an A+. It's so good. Down here, it's less good. And it's less good because it's more likely to not get ghouls than it is if you're up here. So we're going to push that bot lane with Maiden now. And let's just go farm. Let's go do something on the map. We're setting up a side play anyway. So we're doing work. Ideally, in this position, we drop these ghouls on the next wave, top lane. And we set up a side split top as well. We just want to keep the pressure going. I want to put ghouls top here. So let's go run up top. See if we can do it. Now, that Malphite would have died if those ghouls would have aggroed onto him. But unfortunately, those ghouls are too far away and they're going to run down the lane. So, we just stand here and let's just recall on the spot. That's it. Just set up the side split. Someone will come and answer this, and that's the goal. We're making it so they can't do anything. I want to stall them as much as I can here. And look at that. Malphite was bot. Now they're fighting without him because he was dealing with the Maiden, and we got top tower. So you're using this pressure everywhere. You don't need Maiden to push side lanes. No one's answered that yet. That's going to get the tier 2 tower if no one goes there. But remember, you don't need to force it with your champions. Just sit back a bit. Sit back for a sec. You got to understand where the risk is to actually be able to make a good play. Now, I've got Maiden in 5 seconds here. What can we do with Maiden? Where can we put her? Well, I'm looking at bot lane. I can put her bot lane. So, we ult over the wall. That sends 4 ghouls to bot lane, and then I'll run back up. I've got my Maiden still with me, but my ghouls are pushing bot. But we don't commit to the fight. You notice where I'm standing. I'm at the back. I don't want anything to do with this fight. I'm saying I really, really don't want to fight this. So I'm just going to run. Remember, I've got ghouls bot right now. We're doing something. And obviously I'll help the smolder as much as I can, but you gotta know your limits. You gotta know what you can and can't do. And I just want to point out, did you see my thought process there? Have a look and see what I just did. So if we go back, look at my walking. I'm not running to safety here. I'm actually running to my next Maiden split. You can see I actually want to drop Maiden top. So I'm running top here. We wait for Maiden to cross the threshold, drop her and recall, and then deal with the push. Now that Maiden split is clutch. That's the reason that I put her top. If I was smarter, I would have run into their jungle here and I would have dropped Maiden there. Because then I would have pushed it faster. And now we can go out to the push. But remember, we don't take the face, we don't take the front, we sit back. Let them do what they want. They come in, I'm getting top farm right now. I don't care. I'm doing what I can. Now, you'll notice my items, I went hourglass. I just, honestly, I didn't know what to buy. This game, I was literally standing there going, I have no idea what the fuck to get. They're jumping on me. They have so many people jumping on me right now. I just don't know what to buy. So I just built an hourglass. I figured I could get a stasis off. It would be useful. At some point, it will be useful. So Maiden's still top right now. Poppy's gone to deal with the Maiden. So now we have time. Poppy's not in the fight at the bot side. Now we have time to get Vision out. Ghoul's almost got the tower as well. That's very sad. But notice the downtime. 40 seconds. We're without Maiden for 40 seconds now. So got to be really careful. We've got to make sure Elder's up in 55. We've got to make sure we don't get caught. But luckily, we have such a low ultimate cooldown that this works pretty much perfect. In a perfect world here, my team would just sit in our jungle and we would wait. Just sit and wait. We don't need to do anything else. Now you can see my thought process here is I want to get to this side of the jungle in case someone comes to face check. But is that my actual intention? It's not. My intention is to drop Maiden bot because it's an Elder up very, very soon. And I don't want them to be able to just focus the Elder. I want them to go, shit, the Maiden's pushing. We need to deal with the Maiden. So that's why I'm where I am right now. So you can see, I run up. We're going to push her as far as we can, and we drop Maiden bot. Now we don't fight. In a perfect world, we don't fight here. We just back, because we stall time for the Maiden. But I can see my team is fighting, and I get a really nice play off here. You can see I'm 1v2, but I'm OP as fuck Yorick with a Shojin and Cleaver. I am insane right now. If I had half a chance at landing my E's here, we literally would have won the game. If I landed one E here, we would have won the game. But unfortunately, I missed pretty much everything. So Malphite goes bot to deal with Maiden, and he died. And Jace gets the top in him. Unfortunately, I die. There's not really anything I can do about it. But now we've got late game Smolder. So we're popping now. We've got, well, mid game. I wouldn't say late game, but we got mid game Smolder. So look at these side splits. You're seeing how much pressure we're putting out with just the split pushing Maiden and Ghouls. This is all the split pushing Maiden and Ghouls right now. Right, that's our hourglass. You can see me contemplating whether or not I should actually finish it or not. I was kind of like, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? I have no idea. So Maud TP's in to do something at Dragon. I don't know why. It's just, you're not going to be able to stop them. They're going to get it, obviously. Even if you take out the Zac, it's not going to work anyway. So that's gone. And they get Elder. Now, this is probably the most crucial time of the game because they are so far ahead of the Elder that it is nuts. Now, you can see, because I've got so much AP, when I hover my adaptive force now, I actually have AP. So whenever I stack Conqueror, I'm actually getting AP and not AD. And that is the problem that you got to keep an eye on. You got to watch how many AP items you build. Because now my Conqueror is actually a negative thing for me. It's only giving me AP. So, we've got Elder on the enemy. Baron is up. I've dropped Maiden bot. Obviously, we're going to put Maiden in the side lane as much as we can, because we want to take someone out from the play. We want to force someone to go deal with her while we do something else. Now, I want this Baron, but they have such good catch that we've got to watch out. You can see me playing super safe. Look how safe I play in this game. It is crazy how safe I play. I just don't want to die. And as soon as they see Poppy on the map, my entire team goes for her. Now, I don't actually hate this play. I actually think this is probably one of the only plays we could have made in general. I don't actually see what else we could have done. Because we can't fight into the Baron. We obviously can't take the Baron fight because they've got Elder. So maybe just picking up the Poppy on a side lane is actually not bad. I knew they were all going to go for the Baron here. So what do? Do we just back out? No. We go into the top. Let's sneak in. Sneak into the next one. And we recall on the spot. We drop ghouls into the wave because we want ghouls to run down the wave. And then we go out to the mid push. Doesn't matter that it was answered. If they went and tried to end mid, we are all good because the ghouls would have just shoved down that lane. Now my ult's up soon. You can see that. What does that mean? It means that we need to orchestrate a Maiden split soon. But it's Elder. Their Elder's going to be gone. What objectives are there? Because there's no more Baron, there's no dragons, there's just side lane towers. So, what do we do? What do we do here? Well, I'm still looking at dropping Maiden here. I still think a Maiden drop bot is good. I'm probably gonna drop Maiden at some point here. I just wanted to see what their team would do. And I wanted to see if anyone went bot. So you see how I learnt my lesson off my first split. The first time I dropped Maiden when I saw the Malphite there. Now, I'm waiting. I want to see if that Malphite still pushes. So you can see I've got myself in a position where we're going to see what he's doing, see if he's pushing. See him on the map. And now we go for the engage. So we catch him. Now my Malphite's AP. So he does a shitload of damage. Hourglass comes in handy. And we die a 1-for-1. Now, a 1-for-1 in this position is not bad. That's fine. Malphite is the only person that can kill my Smolder. He's the only one that can get onto it. So that's fine. I'm okay with that. That stops their push entirely. They can't do anything off it. Baron's gonna expire. The Elder Dragon's gonna expire. And look, see, when they don't have the Malphite ult onto the Smolder, it's much harder for them to deal with him. That's why this is so clutch. MVP to Maud for that play. That was sick. That was absolutely sick. The way he got the Poppy out of the fight there, so that the Smolder was safe, was just crazy good. But this game was so high quality, dude. The players in this game are just nuts. But you can see how much we're getting stomped. This game is so hard. Like, even with all these split pushing, I drop Maiden here, I drop Maiden there. Look how strong they are. Fucking hell. Like, we're just getting shadowed. Like, I was amazed we didn't lose this game here. I thought this was done. So you can see we get a nice little catch. Malphite luckily misses his ult. We did a nice dodge. And then we're going for the cleanup. So you see I get a few moves. We're going to take the portal all the way down to the bottom. Now we know we're on vision. I hit one of my E's. Dude, that moves fast. Wait, I missed my E again. I just realized. Bloody hell. Alright, so. He's dead. Jace is top, going for some weird end. I don't know what he's doing. And I've seen the mid lane, so I'm going to recall. I want to deal with the mid wave first. I don't want them to just get 3 inhibitors. And last item, obviously, we're going to go GA. They have a full jumping comp. We're going to go protective. That's where the GA, that's where the hourglass comes from. So, let's talk Maiden split. Dragon's up in less than 60 seconds. What do? We're going to look to drop Maiden. You can see we drop her there. The correct play should have been to take the top portal all the way to my mid, all the way to my jungle, and then drop Maiden top. But it's fine. It's fine the way it is. Now that we've dropped Maiden, we need to make a play. By the time she's in vision, we want to be in vision. We want to be forcing something and in position to be able to react. Now, I got nervous here because there was Malphite's really committing to the top, and I'm just here thinking like, fuck, he's actually just going to see her before she can do anything. So, unfortunately, Maiden split's not that good. Like I said, it's hard, but look at the damage she's doing to him anyway. As you can see, Maiden split's not easy. It's hard. You have to predict what the enemy is going to do. But the good thing about that is it means he has to recall now. So we see the Zac. We see my team fighting. Let's just go at the Zac. Run at the Zac. Just hit him. We don't care. My team's fighting them right now. I don't give a shit. Let Zac do what he wants. Because we distracted Zac, my team wins the fight. Oh boys, that's it. Now I'm chasing the Malphite. Forgot there was the bloody portals. You can see this big 2v3 that's going on right now. Oh, fucking healing. But that means we can get Elder. Alright, we're pulling it back. We're pulling it back. It's a bloody hard game. Now, we pretty much can win off one play now because Yorick, when he has Elder, is just nuts. Maiden splits with Elder Dragon buff is nuts. But important is I need a little bit more gold for my GA. I need more gold. So what do? We're going to drop Maiden bot, set up the side split now because I'm going to go mid, get it the gold I need, and then we're going to recall on the spot. By the time we've gone back and parking top, the Maiden is now pushing up that bot wave. I'm trying to tell them more to come bloody with us. Because one problem that people do is they do this where they push the lane up, and now my Maiden doesn't have a chance to get ghouls. See how the ghoul she raised are coming to me? That doesn't help the bot lane push. It would have been better for him to push up with the ghouls. But you can't do anything about it. So my team's going to go for the Baron. We're going to rush it. Rush it. We need to push this as fast as possible. Get that Elder. Use that Elder. Get the Baron. Make the play. You can see I see the Poppy coming. Get a nice E. Beauty. Straight push. Go all the way, all the way, all the way. As fast as we can go. Look at Maiden. Look at Maiden bot. She's going to town right now. Now, you wouldn't believe it if I told you this. This game, we were 10k gold behind. We were 10k gold behind in this game. It doesn't look it, but we were so far behind, it was insane. And we pretty much won entirely off the pressure that Maiden did. Crazy game. Absolutely insane game. Look how far behind. My entire team was so far behind that game. It was just crazy, crazy. So I might put a little screenshot up here now so you can see the post-game stats and however where we were, maybe the timeline as well. But I hope you learned something. I hope it wasn't too boring to watch, but thanks for watching anyway, and I will catch you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. I've got a patch update coming out, so you'll see that probably tomorrow or the next day.